Glasses, I didn't know.
What's that, sorry?
Glasses, I didn't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can see that I definitely need them, huh? For sure. Magnifying
You
glasses.
scored some goals?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a fun playoffs for sure. I think both of those series, the Toronto one and the Florida one, I enjoyed. I felt like it challenged all of us, and I feel like we all grew in different facets, mentally, physically, everything. So I was really proud of our group and the way that we handled a lot of the situations from this year. And I think guys stepped up huge, and we gave it a good kick.
Especially considering a team that's been building toward this for a few years. 2 years ago, President's Trophy.
Yeah.
Finals last year.
Right.
And you guys have changed a third of your team.
Yeah.
Big third.
Yeah.
Is it hard this soon after the loss to have that perspective? Because you seem to be
Yeah.
gaining it here.
Oh, for sure. I feel like I thought about it all year. I was super proud of our group, the new leaders kind of coming in and stepping up in different ways and taking the experience that we learned from that foundational group that, has kind of left us for the most part now. So it's fun because, we're kind of taking over and recognizing that we can build something special here too. And that's our goal. We want to continue to be as competitive as possible. And even coming into this year, I didn't believe for a second that we weren't going to be a competitive group. I think it's just the way that, you come into this locker room and the way that guys are driven. Everybody comes to work each day. It's special, and it's something that I want to make sure, for as long as I'm here, that I can try and help maintain and continue to push guys and be a positive driving force to take all the experience that we've learned from the past and just keep this experience going because it's the biggest blessing in the entire world to play for this organization.
Brandon, you had a career year in many ways. Is there a difference maker that you can point to, or is it actually just experience and maybe kind of, you told me earlier in the season you're playing a little looser?
Yeah, I think it's experience for sure. This year for myself, I kind of just really focused more so on cultivating, the side of me that wasn't a hockey player. I feel like a lot of times I got caught up just putting too much of my identity in what I do and my job, and I'm grateful for the perspective that I've learned this year, and I feel like that helped my game a lot. Babies will do that. Family will do that, and there's just so much outside of the game that I feel, so good about, so blessed for. And just recognizing that this is the game that I played since I was a kid, and how fun that I'm still able to do it. I think about so many teammates that I've played with over the years, and to still be here and never really working like a real job has been pretty incredible. So, no, I love it, and I never want it to be over.
How is the new addition doing?
Awesome. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe he was just keeping it together well for the playoffs or whatnot, but he's been super quiet from what I've heard, I was sleeping in a different room for a couple nights, but no, very good. I'm super excited to spend some time with, both my kids, my wife, everything. So that'll be, a fun situation for me after a disappointing loss.
You had some terrible luck getting your playoff career getting going.
Yeah.
And now you've become this given. Did you have to play through anything? Because it just seems like you're sort of like this thing that doesn't change right now.
Yeah, for sure. No, injury-wise and everything, I felt good. That was something that was tough my first couple of years, and I had my fair share of disappointments there, but I'm very thankful for the way that I've been able to remain healthy in the playoffs. It's something that I've wanted to personally, accomplish. I would say a couple years ago, maybe I was in my head a little bit more about that. Nowadays, I just want to go out and play as hard as I can and kind of let everything handle itself. So injuries will happen, but no, aside from that, my body has felt pretty good, for all that you can ask with going through the playoffs.
What was it like to see Jeremy sort of blossom in the way that he did in these playoffs?
Incredible. It was so fun. Even just aside from the game, I had just some conversations with him, and every time I saw him, I just wanted to tell him how proud I was of him because he just was so good, mentally, physically, everything involved, and it helped me a lot through the playoffs too. Just seeing his confidence and his swagger. I talked about in the Toronto series, him coming back to the bench and just smiling, looking up, enjoying it. It really teaches me to kind of take that perspective as well, and I love that I can be learning from a guy that's younger than me, and I think he's only going to continue to get better.
Kind of seen the Bruins now in two iterations.
Yeah.
As a very young player, and now you're hitting the prime of your career,
Yeah.
and you're one of those core guys.
Yeah.
What's the next step for this group? How do you get over that hump? I mean, because Sauer team that might be wearing the baseball caps when this is all said
Yeah,
and done?
for sure. I think throughout my career to this point, I'm recognizing how valuable it is to stay within the moment. And that's the biggest thing, as I feel like we had a lot of success this year when we focused on the process of the game. Everybody did their jobs, and didn't try to do too much at certain points. And you saw, with guys just trying to do their jobs, having career years, because you're just going out and trying to do the right things, and usually that's when the bounces and things come. So I think we still have a long way to go to continue to grow. I'm super proud of the young guys that came in. I'm super thankful for the older guys that came in and showed that leadership, and we could learn from them. So I think it's just important for all of us, young guys included, to have that mentality that we have something special here that we want to keep going. And it's been incredible to be in the playoffs, pretty much every year since I've been here. So that's important to us in this group, and just continuing to grow, push those young guys along. It's funny because now that I have kids, it's just like the past 2 years have gone by so fast. So it's weird not being considered a young guy as much anymore. But I'm thankful for that because I want to use my experience to try and help in the future.
Brandon, I'm sorry if you already asked this,
Yeah.
but it looks like there's going to be a lot of cap space here.
Yeah.
How much do players look at that and say, okay, we can add an impact player or two here?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't even thought about it. For me, I was never very good at math with numbers and all of that, so I try and save myself the headache. Overall, I control what I can control, be the best teammate that I can be, and I'm confident that, from years of experience with seeing it, they're going to put us in a position to be competitive and have a great group within this locker room. So I think that's so important to have, is just maintain that good group in the locker room, which we definitely have, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Brandon Mason was talking about that he got his first taste of it. Now he wants to go home and work on things this summer. You had a longer streak. You came in your first year, played the whole first year.
Yeah.
But do you remember what it was like going back after the first year and thinking, okay, I'm in here. Here's what I've got to do to stay here.
Right. I think throughout the entire season, especially when it comes to playoffs, you're challenged very much as an individual to deal with those pressures. I think once you get kind of a grasp on it, it becomes so exciting, and you recognize, the uncontrollables of the game, the angst going into it. That's the fun part of it. You want your heart racing, you want to be in those moments, and when you're doing it and then it kind of comes to an abrupt end, it's hard to adjust in that time frame, because you're like, wow, I can kind of let my body relax. I don't have to go to battle, a day from now. So it's an adjustment period there. I always kind of go from the perspective of like really needing to get away from it for a minute, but also when you're in the thick of it and it's become like this process that you've been so focused on, it's hard to step away and want to, I don't know, I always feel more motivated after each season because you didn't accomplish the end goal. And so with going through that battle, you're ready to kind of get back out there, but summer doesn't enable you to do that. So I think it's important to get away, but also maintain that motivation going into the next season and not forgetting that feeling that we've had when we do lose the season. So it's important to hang on to those things, but also grow. And I think we're all excited to continue to get better. I think that's what makes us, able to play in the NHL. We wouldn't be here if we didn't do that. You got to continue to be your best version of yourself, or you'll get left behind.